This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all, this
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Stephanie Jones gracing us with her presence.
I love it. I get such a nice reaction every time from Jeff. I'm like, I quite like the build-up.
Because I look at your Instagram and you're setting sail somewhere.
I've literally been here, you guys.
Maybe in my head. Maybe in my head.
Setting sail.
Yeah, I'm just driving home. I'm like, you know what? I kind of hate Stephanie.
You know when I always look at Stephanie's stuff is when I'm in line at a fast food at Wendy's. Oh, she's in the Alps.
It's always
the double burger.
Wendy's.
And look at that. They gave me a curly fry mixed in with my fries. It's my lucky day.
Everything's coming up, Schulman.
All right, let's get to it, guys. Kevin Spacey has been cleared of 9 counts of sexual assault, some serious stuff. Today, a British jury found Kevin not guilty of assaulting 4 men over a 12-year period beginning back in 2001. Kevin cried when the verdict was read, then shook hands with some of the jury members, and also kissed 2 of the security guards on the cheek, which might be inappropriate for a sexual assault case.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's innocent. He gave a brief statement after the trial. Let's listen.
I imagine that many of you can understand that there's a lot for me to process after what has just happened today. But I would like to say that I'm enormously grateful to the jury for having taken the time to examine all of the evidence and all of the facts carefully before they reach their decision. And I am humbled.
All right, so last year, Kevin was found not liable for battery after Anthony Rapp accused Kevin of making sexual advances on him when he was just 14. What do we think? I mean, these are serious charges. He would have went away for a long time if he found guilty. So this is serious business, but he was... We always say that where there's smoke, there's fire, but apparently not in this case.
And I have to just let you know that during the trial, Kevin's lawyers spoke and said he was being unfairly targeted because he has what they call a, quote, promiscuous lifestyle. And because of that, he was being accused left and right of all of that.
I love lawyer talk.
Lawyers, yeah,
I love lawyer talk.
So he was just kind of randy, and that's why people came after him, is what the defense says. But my question is, do you put Kevin Spacey back in a movie?
I mean, it's lawyer talk stuff, but it's also lawyer talk mixed in with the narrative as well, because right now, socially, everybody's like, we're very sex positive and don't discriminate against people because of their lifestyle or if they choose to have a number of partners. And that gets this big swell of like public, yeah, do whatever you want. And you take that and mix it with somebody that may have some actual dirt on them. It's no different than if I had gotten drunk and run into a house and be like, the media's coming after a black man. Has the media come after a black man before? Yes.
Yeah.
In this case, does it apply? No. So I think we always need to be conscious when we're looking at any story to understand that, yes, there may be some truth overall, but does it apply to this case?
Yeah, I mean, some of the things he said, were interesting. He said, he's definitely hit on people. Maybe he's been taken the wrong way. But when you grab someone by the genitalia, I don't know how wrong the way that's being taken if someone's saying no.
But he's being acquitted?
He's been acquitted.
So do you put him in a movie?
I don't. That's a great question. That really is. Yeah, and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
In theater, in Broadway, he owns theaters. I mean, this guy
But at what point... It's tough because, like Al said, you get this protective cloak if you identify as some marginalized group of some sort. And in this case, he's found not guilty, but perhaps assaulted other people. But then, hey, I'm just a randy man. You know what I mean? The political spin in the lawyer talk that we deal with in today's society, putting labels on you. Hey, you don't agree with Kevin Spacey? You're not sex positive? You don't agree with our lifestyle?
But here's the other side now. Here's the other side. After you've been acquitted, because there are going to be people that are falsely accused, after you've been acquitted, can you not get your job back? Because if we don't let him work again, then that it's like, Steph, there are rules or there are not rules. So it appears
but there's
to
also a
regular
court of
folks,
public opinion.
Yes, but I mean...
people are going to care, what the people tuning in really think and feel. And I mean, there have been many allegations, not just just one, and yes, he has been proven innocent, which is wonderful, but it's still that public perception, which can be really unfair because, you know, he's innocent, he's been proven innocent, but I mean, people at home are still going to judge. Are they still going to tune in to watch him on television or on the theatre or whatever it is when they have that in the back of their mind?
Right.
Probably not.
Would you put him in a movie and have millions of dollars on the back of that man?
If you're, it's just weird. We judge talent over like crimes.
Yeah, because he's such a
right?
good actor.
But just if he's so good that you almost overlook that because you want to be entertained yourself. Do people still listen to Michael Jackson? He wasn't proven guilty in a court of law, but people still listen to him and they kind of push that aside. It's not true. He wasn't proven guilty. So it's weird, like the talent level, how we discern things in this country.
Ultimately, we're selfish as people. We want to be entertained. And so, like, I mean, are you telling me that people haven't watched a sporting event in which some of the players on the field or, you know, or in the octagon or on the rink have not committed some alleged atrocities?
How about Picasso? He was a terrible womanizer, did terrible things to women, and there's museums all over the world for him.
When you break into that accent, it kind of like the conversation. It's just over. The conversation's over.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's over now.
Who are you in that moment, Tori?
I'm just trying to explain that, like, I think creating the art to the artist is an important thing that we as humans do, and one of the most famous ones is Picasso.
That person comes through.
And she did a little Beaker, too. She's like, meep, meep. Remember that guy from the Muppets?
Of course, my aunt looks like him.
Beaker.
So cute.
How does she take that?
Oh, she loves it. She's kooky like me. Beaker.
Hey, Aunt Becky, you look like Beaker. I love you. All right. Some A-list actors are lending their star power to support the writers and actors strike. Oscar winner Jessica Chastain and Brendan Fraser attended a rally in Times Square on Tuesday. During the rally, Breaking Bad star Bryan Cranston gave a passionate speech calling out Disney CEO Bob Iger, who called the strike's demand, quote, not reasonable. Did I say that wrong?
Yes. No, you said right.
Yeah, you
Why'd
said
you give me that look?
Because we don't,
What? Hey, what's up?
Not having our jobs taken away and giving to robots. We will not have you take away our right to work and earn a decent living. And lastly, and most importantly, we will not allow you to take away our dignity.
Who is he pretending to be there?
No, he's pretending to be part of the union.
I know, but all right, just talk to me, buddy. Other A-listers who have walked the picket line include Lupita Nyong'o, Daniel Day Kim, and Sex and the City star Cynthia Nixon. But some SAG members are calling out stars like Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Meryl Streep, and Jennifer Lawrence for not joining the picket lines. In fact, one even held up a sign saying, "Where the bleep is Ben Affleck?"
You never like this.
I don't like it.
Right.
Why don't you just mind your own business? Why don't you be there and support your cause and not worry about what other people are doing? Maybe Ben has an illness in the family. Maybe one of his kids are sick. Maybe his mother's passing away. I don't know. I'm not saying that. Just mind your own business. Worry about what you're doing, what other actors are doing. I'm on the actor side. I'm glad people are doing that and supporting. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Worry about yourself. Just in that case. But what do we think about the strike in general?
First of all, the strike is getting louder and stronger, and there is some information. We do think that maybe Gavin Newsom, we don't know for sure, but Gavin Newsom famously is the governor of California. He is interested in brokering a deal between the strikers and SAG because he is in California. He can play with both sides, and if he does, this will be very well looked at for Gavin Newsom in his future if he happens to run for president, which I think is his ultimate goal eventually of the United States. The other thing I wanted to say is that The Rock, I have to give a shout out.
I thought you were going to say president of his bowling club.
No, the United States, not bowling. The Rock has donated 7 figures. We don't know how much, but at least 7 figures to the insurance and SAG so they can continue giving that. And a lot of people are saying he did it because he just made $50 million on his new movie.
But he didn't have to give any money.
He didn't have to. Right. And I think, Steph, it's a big statement. It's the largest donation they have ever seen.
Hold on. Let me push back a little bit. Yeah. I don't mean to jump in here. But I love The Rock, too. I'm just pushing the other side on all these stories. Is he giving $50 million because he's such a good, or $1 million because he's such a good guy, or is it because he just got $50 million during a strike when people are saying they don't get paid enough, and he just broke the record? I'm just saying you're touting it. I love The Rock. I swear, I really do. But I'm just saying.
He could
You gotta give $1 million.
He could have very happily stayed
You have to
home
give $1 million.
and kept his mouth shut and taken that check. He didn't have to do anything.
Yes, you do.
No, he didn't have to.
In the climate, you do.
I think what he's done is absolutely incredible, because that is going to keep the roofs and mouths fed of many writers that have had absolutely no money and have not received the credentials that they deserve by any means. I'm all for the strike. I think it's amazing. I hope they come to a deal soon, because people's livelihoods are dependent on it. Also, shout out to people like Jamie Lee Curtis, who's also donated. And I don't like when people are saying about Meryl Streep, because, okay, so she might not be out on the picket line for whatever reason, but she's signing and approving the papers. And they're saying the same thing for Margot Robbie, yet she's on tour doing this amazing press tour, which put hundreds and hundreds of people in work, and she's on the red carpet saying, I'm with SAG, I approve, I'm part of the union. How is she meant to be on the picket line when she's off in God knows what country, promoting the thing that's giving most of the people work?
I just don't get it.
That frustrates me.
It just seems like if you don't go, you'll get a sign, where the heck is Ben Affleck? And if you do, give $1 million.
Throw some money at it.
They say
You
that's not
can't
enough.
win.
You're just doing that to make it look good. So it's like, what's the incentive for the actor?
Well, that's what people are saying. They're saying, oh, you know, people aren't turning up, or when they do, they're using it as a red carpet opportunity. It's serious. So it's like The Rock has given over, well, at least $1 million, and then he's getting a blood on his back saying, you know, you're doing it for the press. I mean, you can't win.
No, you can't. Yeah. And again, I don't like that sign. Just, I'm holier than you. Here's a sign, whatever. Coming up on DBL. We're done with that, too. Tori's accent, and we're done. Our very special interview with Steve Guttenberg. He opens up about his family and tells us about a play based on his memoir. Great interview, Tori.
Thank you.
Why was David Letterman spotted working at a grocery store? Watch the first interview with Tori, and then you can watch Tori segment actually after that.
It's very good.
DBL. This show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point. But I want to have a conversation about what's happening now.
So you get to see two sides of Tori in the next two segments, huh?
Well, I think a lot of people were asking, and I will just give a little preview, why Lana Del Rey was spotted in Alabama. I don't know if you know Florence. At a Waffle House serving as a server. At Florence, Alabama? Have y'all?
Pick up what I just
When was this, Tori?
What'd you
You
say?
can listen to what I
Yeah,
say.
two sides of Tori.
I was talking, so promote your next two segments.
I am. I'm telling what's coming up, and I'm actually.
Getting ready for about the strike.
No, Lana Del Rey. Actually is about Dave Letterman and Lana Del Rey working at grocery stores or Waffle Houses, and everyone's like, "Why is Lana Del Rey? Don't do that. He always just leaves quietly. So annoying. Why is she working in a Waffle House? Well, I tell you, you have to watch. I have a question for you guys. If you were in LA, would you go to the strikes? I so want to go and make a clever sign.
But you know, I don't know if I should say that, actually.
Oh.
I was going to say, we're not part of SAG.
No, we can say that for sure. The show is in SAG, and there are no writers on the show in that way.
Yeah,
So we aren't scabs or anything going against the picket line. We are an opinion show.
I would love to be a member.
I would love. My
of
parents took me to
SAG.
strikes and protests since I was a baby. Gay rights, pro-choice in D.C. And I've been to more protests than parades. And I believe in the power of them, and I think that this is gonna work out.
Do you see a positive end to this?
I think you can't. Why would you go against very good-looking people with excellent sources of communication?
I just
Why?
worry that people are genuinely, and technology is getting better and better. Like AI and everything is getting so advanced that like now there's like they can create anything, and I just worry about literally our industry in general, because the people that are creating the shows, a computer can write a script, it can write an article, it can do anything.
They're having
same for CGI and everything.
know.
Like people could replace us, robots tomorrow.
They're having a meeting
I mean,
at
what
the.
will happen in the future? And it's not just that; it's like the self-checkouts in the supermarket.
Oh, it's all
like
becoming that,
everything's-
right.
We're all becoming so irrelevant. and
They're having
replaceable.
a meeting,
All of
Steph, at the White House about AI and the danger that it could cause. Welcome back. Times are tough. How tough are they? Well, so tough that A-list stars are picking up shifts at local grocery stores and restaurants. Yeah, that tough. But actually, what are they doing clocking in at these jobs? David Letterman picked up a shift bagging groceries in Iowa last week, and that's a sentence I never thought I'd say. Hy-Vee grocery store in Des Moines posted a picture of Letterman inspecting a can of soup while sporting an apron and his very own name tag. But to no one's surprise, it doesn't appear that he's bagging groceries to make ends meet. Actually, he's in town for the Hy-Vee car race. He actually owns one of the very cars that competed through his racing team. That sounds a little more Letterman. But he said that he wanted to revisit his grocery store roots while in town since he spent a considerable amount of time in grocery stores in Indianapolis while he was growing up. Let's just hope he's properly dressed for the job, you know, with a beard net and all, because of the beard. But an even more fascinating celeb that we spotted in the wild, Grammy-winning singer Lana Del Rey was also spotted working a blue-collar job. She was serving at a Waffle House in Florence, Alabama earlier this month. Her coworkers seemed to love working with her. One said she was, quote, humble, funny, and such a good sport. She even signed a poster. She's taken selfies with fans at the Waffle House. Now, as of right now, no one knows for sure why Lana is in Florence, Alabama, or why she's picking up shifts making waffles and grits. But actually, some fans speculate that her visit could be connected to a lyric in Paris, Texas, which is a song from her newest album. The lyrics mention going to, quote, see friends of mine down in Florence, Alabama.
Down in Florence, Alabama.
Could this be a music video set up somehow? But the big ask we have for you, my DBL Nation, which celeb would you most like to be served by? Whew, I gotta think about this one. Let me know with the hashtag #actuallyTory. We'll be right back.
We got this picture sent to us by Barbara Ash. She says, I'm a business owner and received this letter from the U.S. U.S. Census Bureau. It says I am required by law to register, enter a code, and complete a survey. So is this legit? Let's verify. Our source is the U.S. Department of Commerce, U.S. Census Bureau, and Tom Bartholomew, Charlotte's Better Business Bureau president. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the collection period for the 2023 annual business survey is now open.
They'll do the business census annually, but not every business is going to get this type of notification every year.
The Census Bureau says businesses are chosen for this survey, and those could include businesses that employ workers, partnerships, corporations, or sole proprietorships with annual receipts of $1,000 or more.
It's a regular part of what the Census Bureau does with through the Department of Commerce to try to gauge business activity.
Bartholomew says there can be scammers trying to impersonate this survey. However, looking at this form, you can see that it lists a .gov website for people with questions, which suggests it's real. But the survey itself will only come by snail mail.
So if you get an email or a text saying that it's from the Census Bureau or saying that it's with the Department of Commerce with a link to go to that, no, that's not how they work.
Bartholomew also says this survey will not ask you for any personal information. So if you click on a link and you're asked for banking information or employee information, it's not legit. So we can verify that, yes, this survey is legit for businesses to fill out. With You Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Welcome back to DBL. Steve Guttenberg is not only a Hollywood legend, he's been one of my favorite stars since I can remember. You'll see why in this interview, in which I will never forget. Take a look.
What are you guys doing here? It's supposed to be me and Tori.
Oh my God! Stop! What? Did you unbutton your shirt for Tori today?
Well, I didn't know Tori was going to be here, but So anyway, Tori, let's just get rid of everybody else, and it's just you and me,
I love
okay?
it, Steve. You're the best. Go to the question.
Okay.
Go to the question.
We love your movies.
Beach.
The beach. And now you're back sharing your life story in a play that I think sounds amazing, Tales from the Gutenberg Bible. Now, as a Jew, I have to ask a fellow Jew, how did a Jewish kid from Queens officially break into Hollywood?
Well, you know, it's not easy. You actually don't play the Jew card. That's actually
That's very true. That's very true.
It's actually a story about my family. And about allowing me to leave home at 17 to go out to Hollywood. And truthfully, who would let their kid today at 17 go to Hollywood? I mean, that would be crazy. But it was a different time. I have great parents. I lost my dad last year.
Oh, so sorry.
Thanks. But thank you. But it's a story about family, about ambition, about innocence. It's about Hollywood, about all the different characters. It's very much like Tom Jones or Alice in Wonderland or Candide.
I'm amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. I hope you like it.
Absolutely.
Tori, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, no, I was just
You're
saying
doing a
that
good job.
I'm dealing with my mom in dealing with several things that your dad, I know, also went through with kidneys and all that. And I just want to say, from caregiver to caregiver, I just thank you for for being there.
Yeah. Well, being a caregiver, I give you tons of props. And, there are 40 million caregivers in the United States alone. And that's basically more than 10% of our population.
Wow.
And everybody knows somebody who's taking care of someone they love. And it's a really important part of life that some people shirk that responsibility. But I think when it comes up, you have to stand up and take it, because your parents, your loved ones, they taught you how to eat with a spoon. So now you go help them do what they've got to do.
Amen.
Yep, that's exactly what's happening. Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
That was a moment. That was
I
beautiful.
know.
Beautiful. And you even became a dialysis tech to even
Tori, I'm not going to ask my question. Just talk to
Well, I just want to say, what made you want to go so deep into becoming a caregiver that you became a dialysis tech? I just wanted to let people know that is an extremely complicated thing to do that we're also having to deal with, maybe. I just wanted to ask you that.
Well, what happened was, with dialysis, you have to drive the patient probably about 20 minutes, half hour to the dialysis center. Then you have to wait for a chair, because each center has about 20 chairs in a square, and there are lots of patients. So we heard that there's a small program in every state where civilians, like myself and my sister, are allowed to train to actually become dialysis technicians, and you can cannulate your loved one, which means you can insert the needles, watch the machine, their blood pressure, know what happens if there's a complication. So we actually went to school and learned. So instead of driving my dad, my sister and I, instead of driving my dad to the center, we were able to just create a hospital setting in the den. Still a very difficult process, but it was easier because he didn't want to have to travel. So it's something for you to think about and to look into, that you can get that training and do it at home.
Thank you for that. I will absolutely look into that. And just every second you had with your dad and every comfort he had at that, it must be a wonderful memory that you didn't have to spend in the car like that. I also follow you. I'm sorry I'm taking over this.
No, it's beautiful.
Okay,
It's a good moment.
I do follow you on Instagram, Steve, and social media can be really toxic. That is so not the case with you. I just watched you swimming in the ocean talking about it. How are you, and are you always this positive?
Well, I try to be positive, but no, I'm a flawed human being who has my moods. But I do know what is best, and I try to be my best as much as I can.
Steve, DBL Nation, guess what? If you're in the Sag Harbor area or you want to come, please go ahead and see Tales from the Gutenberg Bible August 1st through the 27th at the Bay Street Theater. Visit baystreet.org for details. We thank you, Steve.
I'll never forget that interview. Thank you, Steve.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Cancer is the most common type of cancer in the United States. And it's also one of the most treatable when caught early.
But there are some common misconceptions about skin cancer and skin tone that are putting people at risk. So let's clear them up.
Claim 1. Having a darker skin tone protects you from getting skin cancer. All of our sources agree. It's a myth that people with darker skin tones are immune to developing skin cancer. People with darker skin have more melanin, the pigment that gives skin its color.
And while that does provide some protection against the sun's harmful UV rays, it doesn't mean you can't get skin cancer.
According to Dr. Corey Hartman, one of the most dangerous types of skin cancer, melanoma, begins in the melanocytes, which are cells that make melanin.
So when Black people, darker skinned people do get skin cancer, it tends to develop in those types of cells, and it tends to be more deadly.
So we can verify, no, having a darker skin tone does not protect you from getting skin cancer. Keck Medicine of USC says the misconception can be devastating because skin cancer in people of color is often diagnosed at later stages, when the disease may be more advanced and harder to treat. Claim 2. Skin cancer is harder to spot on darker skin tones. That's true. Medical News Today says cancerous growths are more noticeable on people with lighter skin tones because they tend to be a different color than their surrounding skin. But in individuals with darker skin tones, these growths may be the same color as their skin, making them harder to detect. And those cancerous growths might appear in unexpected places.
Darker skin has more melanin in concentrated areas, like around the nail beds, on moles on the palms and the soles. And those are areas that people don't necessarily think of to look for skin cancer.
So we can verify, yes, skin cancer is harder to spot on darker skin tones.
The American Academy of Dermatology says that people of color and people with darker skin tones should check their skin from head to toe every month for signs of skin cancer.
Look for dark spots, growths, or darker patches of skin that are growing, bleeding, or changing in any way. A sore that won't heal, or that heals and returns. Patches of skin that feel rough and dry, or a dark line underneath or around a fingernail or toenail.
And no matter what your skin color, our sources say everybody needs to wear sunscreen every single day. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Verify here with your Fast Fact. There's a lot of money at stake in the upcoming lottery jackpot, and many of you emailed us asking, can you stay anonymous if you win? Our sources are the State Lottery Commissions, Powerball, and Mega Millions. Powerball and Mega Millions are played in nearly every state. They all require you to provide identifying information to claim your prize, but each state then makes its own rules about whether to release the winner's name to the public. If you win the Powerball or Mega Millions jackpot, these 17 states will keep your information private if you'd like. But that doesn't mean you're out of luck everywhere else. For example, Colorado only releases the winner's first name and the first initial of their last name. Other states, like Florida or Arkansas, wait a few months or years to reveal the winner's name. And some states have loopholes that allow you to claim through a trust or LLC, which lets you hide your real name. Some states also have exemptions for victims of stalking or domestic violence. With your Fast Fact, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Thanks, Tori. There are some things you can add to your diet to reduce inflammation and keep joint pain at bay. It's time for some joint and muscle support brought to you by Omega XL. First, fish, nuts, and seeds are a great source of omega-3s, and try adding in tart cherries and purple carrots for fast joint recovery. Omega XL has improved the lives of millions of consumers. Supported by 30 years of clinical research, Omega XL's powerful and proven benefits have transformed the lives of athletes, celebrities, and dedicated daily users. Call 800-607-7643 or visit OmegaXL.com for more information. You know, I put nuts in my shake all the time, and there's a lot of calories.
I love putting nuts in salads.
Yeah, I love them. I love them. See you tomorrow.
Nuts.